All right.
Sounds good.
All right. So this is live, huh?
Can I get a black and mild,
I'm
original black
sorry.
and mild? Yeah, no, I'm just grabbing something at the Wawa. We live though. It's cool, man.
Okay,
How
cool.
you doing?
How you doing, sir?
How much is it? Oh, this is the regular one. This is not the wood chip one, right? You want the what chip? No, the 89 cent one. I thought it was 89 cents. You see it says 89 cents on it? Not the wood chip. Right there. Yeah, I don't know what's that. My bad, bro. My bad.
It's all right.
Yeah, that's weird. 95. Let me pay the rest with my card. All right. So, my bad, bro. I'm trying to grab something real quick, but yeah,
Sure.
thank you for coming on live, man. Jason Creed. So
No,
what's good,
no
man? Yo,
problem.
why don't you, matter of fact, why don't you introduce like what we were talking about? Like tell everybody what we were talking about and all of that.
It's about this problem that went down, a murder that went down that was basically it was three men that killed this white gentleman.
Right.
Um, the way I look at the reports was the reports want to make it to a more of a racial issue in some aspect.
Yeah.
I see a little bias towards that as well.
Right.
But they didn't let you know that there was a black person in a car with the white person
Right.
that
Right.
was killed.
Right.
Um, very unfortunate chain of events, but at the same time, they were playing pranks on these people in a very dangerous area.
Yeah. You got to be aware of where you at. What you
Yeah, and there's different politics. You know, violence comes with different, like the way of violence is in certain areas. It's just different chains of violence and the speed of what it takes to get someone killed in one area versus another area are
right.
two different things, basically.
Yeah. The politics. I don't know how you look at it, but like what I've been seeing, and then not only politics, but it's just even yeah, even legally, the father, Bill Lyman. I sent him a message on Facebook. I want to talk to him. Maybe get him on my
Mhm.
live. That'd be dope. Um,
Wow.
he's a pastor, or at least he was at some point in his life, according to his Facebook. He like he even said he's married to a Filipino woman. So with him, he doesn't want to assume that it has anything to do with race. And I don't think the attack itself was racially motivated. Maybe it could have been.
You know what? Now, when you talk about the attack itself,
Hmm.
there are strings of certain type of bias and hatred towards there. You
Hmm.
could kind of see that,
Hmm.
but it's also street politics.
Okay. Hmm.
And when I mean street politics, in other words, we can't have somebody come around and make a punk out of us. We
Okay.
have to handle that with violence
Yeah, like one of
in a
the
brutal
one of the
fashion.
defense, one of the legal defenses said, according to um, Bill Lyman's lawyer, said that this was hood justice.
No, this society doesn't have much time left.
What do you
That's
mean?
pretty bad. That's pretty dark. I'm sorry that was even said at all. I don't support that at all.
Yeah, like
Hood
but
justice.
but
That's that's
it's
that's
kind of
that's bullshit.
it's kind of like because of the hood code, the street code, or
Yeah.
you're not gonna get away with this without a beat down, a severe.
No, that we're going into a dark place.
Yeah, it's bad.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah,
I don't
and
support that at all.
yeah. Let me see if anybody's on. Whew, wow, I'm out of shape.
I'm sorry about the first live you had, sir. You know,
Yeah, it looks like maybe it had to do with my streaming service because
okay.
I mean it's on my laptop too, and I wonder if that,
Mhm.
yo, now that I think about it, that might have been on my end, but I wonder why it wasn't the same thing wasn't happening with me. Weird, but
I very am apologetic for what happened to the last live stream.
hey man, but we're here now, so what I'll do is maybe next time we'll just do it like this. And look how much more clear it is too, for me at least.
I think we should like this more often
Yeah, I like it. I like it, man.
about what's going on
Yeah,
with my.
yeah, bro. So, is this a Philly number? I feel like are you from Philly? Where you from? Ooh,
Indiana.
what'd you say?
Indiana.
Ah, okay. Indiana. Okay, cool. And you were in the ICGJC?
No, no,
No.
I was with in the past. I was associated with Great Millstone.
Oh, damn. Okay. Out there in Indiana?
No, in Illinois.
Ah, okay. Cool. Yeah, I definitely detect a Midwestern accent or something. Something. um,
Chicago. I was born and raised over there.
born and raised in Chicago. That's cool, man. One of my best friends out here in Orlando is from the south side of Chicago. My friend Carl Davis.
Hmm.
Oh, he's a lot older than me. This is my drinking partner right here, man. He's cool people, man. I love
Yeah,
chilling. He's really
yeah,
into. He's your typical Chicagoan. He loves his Bears. He loves his Bulls. He loves his
yeah.
Red Sox.
Man, let me tell you something, man. Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls,
Mhm.
their run as champions is one of the best things that ever happened
Oh,
to
so
this town.
yeah, it's pretty incredible. I see they're doing a movie on what's it called, Air. With
Yeah, on the gym shoes with Matt Damon. Was that right? Am I right?
I don't think people really care about that. I also read a story that they were saying in the story in the article they were like, why is it that people are not so interested in this movie? It's not getting like a big buzz like it should be or like they expected.
Well,
And
you have to understand. You have to understand. Like people like these movies with chaos and a lot of explosions and stuff.
yeah,
A lot of cosmic wars and stuff going on because one of the reasons is a lot of the people are the um the ADHD.
mm.
You know, they have a attention deficit
Oh,
disorders.
oh yeah, I think social media is contributing to that a lot with these little shorts
Yeah,
and these like short videos. Like the shorts are getting shorter and shorter. The
yeah,
short
they
videos.
have a short-term memory problem. Anytime because back in the day, you used to have films with Al Pacino and
Yeah.
Robert De Niro. Hell, even someone like James Woods and someone like that, where they were drama acting the characters through. They was fleshed through. Now you have more chaos, more blowing up stuff because the people cannot concentrate for more than 5 minutes.
Yeah, they need like action packed, loud noises, and things that
Yeah,
catch their attention. And it's like once people need to focus and listen for a few minutes, they start to drift. Their attention starts to drift off, I think.
yeah. The last best of the comic book films they have ever made to me,
Uh-huh.
one of the last best ones they ever made was the Dark Knight.
Okay. I actually kind of like Deadpool.
Deadpool, okay.
I think that one was pretty good. It had a lot of weird stuff.
Ryan Reynolds' performances as that was more fleshed out. Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
give you that. But to me, I thought The Dark Knight was really one of the best Batman movies I've ever seen
yeah. That how it
because because he didn't go out on top.
and Ledger stole the show, and
Yeah,
I even like Batman Begins.
I like that one too.
That's one that's kind of slept on, but I like that actor that played Scarecrow. He was in the 28 Days Later movie.
Hmm.
He was real good. I forget his name, but before that,
Hmm.
horrible. It was like Mr. Freeze, Arnold Schwarzenegger. That was hard. That was the worst one. George Clooney and all.
Campy. It was too campy.
Yeah, but yeah, man.
But back to the subject at hand. I'm sorry. I don't mean to trade off subject,
Yeah, right.
but
We both.
but
Yeah,
this is if they said that that's street justice,
yeah. Hood justice.
we can't support. I can't support that. That's negative.
I
You about
find,
to start a race war.
yeah, and what's happening now is that you're starting.
Just telling it. I'm
You're start,
telling it like it is.
yeah, and you're starting to see now white nationalists. Now they're being fueled by these stories, and
Yeah.
it's kind of like giving them motivation to go out here and become at least upset, and they're protesting these things, yo, like Black Lives Matter. They're like, oh, you want to protest, we're gonna start protesting too. And
Hmm.
they they're definitely adding more racial tensions than I think it needs to be, but I can't help but call out the fact that this is,
It's these left wing. It's these left wing politicians.
yeah,
The left wing politics that's doing it.
that's what it seems like, because BLM, and the reason why I came into the whole Black Hebrew Israelite movement was because um there's I'm from New York City, and in New York City there's is very liberal, and there's always been this story, this narrative of white people get away with stuff, white people got privilege, white people are evil, more racist, and they take advantage of the poor, Black and Hispanics, and the cops,
Right.
and all of that. And it's like, well, I did grow up around the time of in New York City of Amadou Diallo and Abner Louima, which were horrible
Hmm.
of Haitian and African men. Um,
Hmm.
and these are immigrants. These aren't even Black Americans who
Hmm.
who were pretty much violated. I mean, to the worst extent. One of them, it was Abner Louima. Yeah, Abner Louima is Haitian. My wife, who's also Haitian, knew his niece, and she used to call this niece up. And one time, Abner Louima picked up. This was the guy who got a plunger shoved in his rear end. You
Oh
remember?
my God, that's
Mhm.
terrible.
By undercover detectives working with the NYPD, and
Hmm.
like I know that I know these stories, and it's like, how were they able to get away with this stuff? I was always like, how did, and then Amadou Diallo, how would you get shot 41 times?
Hmm.
Now I understand that. Well, I didn't know the story, the details, and the reasons why they shot so many times. What they say is that when they were shooting, the bullets were ricocheting back towards them, and they thought that he was shooting because he was in a dark alley, or he was in a dark kind of lobby into an apartment, and he's dark. So they were like, and he had a wallet,
Hmm.
and he was trying to pull out his wallet. They thought he was trying to pull out his gun. So I didn't know the details in that situation. It still seems it still seems like overkill, but I
Hmm.
I think I get it. If they're shooting and it's ricocheting and there's multiple people shooting, you might get, I don't know. At least one of them cops might have been like,
See what I mean? And you see what I'm saying when you talk about See, the cops, it was dark. I bet it was just dark, and they couldn't see right.
Right.
And that's the thing about lethal force. I mean, if a water gun is pointed at you, like I'm not giving those three guys excuses at all for what they've done. That doesn't give them the right to do what they did.
But I don't think
But
it
if
was pointed at them at the time when the beatdown happened.
no, the water gun wasn't pointed at him at the time the beatdown happened. They found out it was a water gun, and then they caught up with him.
Right. That's why.
And the guy was trying to explain, "Yo, this is just a prank," and they was like, "I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
We're gonna kill you anyway." I mean, this is the mentality that they're dealing with mentally. I mean, the way they feel is we don't have anything to live for anyway.
Wow. Yeah, it could be.
That's how they feel. They really feel that they don't have anything to live for. I'm going to die anyway. I'm probably get shot anyway because what's the sense in being on Earth?
They live on a different
wavelength,
mentality and code. That's like I don't got much to lose type thing. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't have anything to lose. My life sucks.
Yeah.
I don't see a future for me at all. And you know what? Technically, in some ways, they're right. I mean, I can't lie and say that it's just the way they feel. They're pissed off, but they didn't have the right to do that. That's murder. I mean, clearly, it's clear murder.
So you think that the reason why they didn't charge for murder is because maybe there's some race? That's where the racial thing comes in, and it's like the politicians or the district attorney and the defense attorney.
It was to make certain people happy. It was, first of all, a lot of that kind of was, I don't want to say who spearheaded it, but Lori Lightfoot, in her own way, played a major role into things like that.
Sorry. Yeah, Lori Lightfoot, the mayor of Chicago, or the
former mayor of Chicago,
who was lesbian, right? Who is a lesbian?
Yes. She's married to a woman.
She's very liberal. Very liberal.
Extremely liberal. Very leftist.
Kind of like on the other end of the spectrum of where far right QAnon types are.
It's
like on the other end, and it's like I see the backlash that comes from right, moderate, maybe some of the moderate in the middle types against her. But it seems more like she doesn't get enough heat from certain people, as opposed to if a QAnon person was in office, a very far right, this person would get demoted, impeached, or whatever real quick. And Lori Lightfoot was the mayor for 8 years or something? She was there for a while, man.
Yeah. Lori Lightfoot, I think she was there for about 5 years.
Okay.
She was there for about 5.
No, Kim Fox.
But thank God I wasn't there when she was in office. Thank God for that. I mean, I would never go back.
Do you know who Kim Fox is in Chicago? Kim Fox?
Vaguely, yes, I do.
Okay, so
vaguely,
I believe she's the district attorney. So she's a black woman who has dropped more cases than any other district attorney, any other DA in Chicago history. She just be dropping cases, and some of these cases will be violent offenses, very serious cases. And she's another woke one. She's right up there with Cori Bush, she's in St. Louis.
Yeah,
very similar type. That
the places that you have to look.
Yeah, they like to
both of the two places. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I apologize.
No, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Two places. What were you saying?
The two cities in America that we have to look out for the most Two of the big cities we got to look out for the most in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
The first one, number one, number one out of all of them
Mm-hmm.
is Los Angeles,
Mm.
California.
The whole state. Gavin Newsom is the governor.
Yeah,
Very woke.
but particularly Los Angeles. I
Yeah.
mean, Los Angeles is that place where if it happens there in that city,
Mm-hmm.
it happens everywhere. All of that. That's just the future.
Yeah.
Another place is Chicago.
Yeah. Yeah. Used to be New York City, but New York City. Remember, we had Giuliani in the '90s, who's a Republican mayor in a liberal,
Mhm.
in a very liberal city, and I think it balanced out really good for the city. I
New
think.
York City, New York City represents to me
Mm,
is an opportunity place.
for sure, man.
To me, New York City, and I haven't even been there,
Hmm.
but to me, if you haven't visited that place, you
Yeah,
haven't really experienced what America's about.
that's a great comment. That's a great comment right there, man. That's a highlight right there.
Really.
The mayor right now is
Like I cannot complete the story of my life
hmm
in America unless I visit that place and live there for at least some time.
I lived there.
I just don't feel like I'm doing enough in my life. I think I've missed something out. If I don't accomplish that,
Hmm.
I consider myself a failure.
Yeah, I lived there. I was born there, and I lived there for half of my life.
Right.
And then I literally moved to Orlando originally a month before 9/11, and then I came back for another year. I was back and forth actually, and I lived there for maybe 2 more years until '04 when I finally came back because I was back and forth Orlando, New York. And I finally came back to Orlando. I've been here since '04 ever since. And I kind of like Florida, man. It has like a good mixture of different sides of politics. With Ron DeSantis
Mm-hmm.
right now as the governor, and then I have a mayor who in Orlando is, I believe it's a black mayor now, female. I forget her name.
Mm-hmm.
Used to be Buddy
Mm-hmm.
Dyer, but it's like Orlando's more Democratic, Florida is more Republican. So I think I would like to call Florida a purple instead of a red or blue. You mix the two colors, it's more like a purple type state, which is it works for me. There's not like there's racist motherfuckers out here in Florida, of course, but the racism is very like just like it's not so intrusive. It's just like I've been asking people like, what's the most? I've been asking a lot of African Americans, Black people, whatever. What's the most racist thing you ever went through? And I think it was one brother that's a little older, which plays a part. Being further back you go, I think it's going to be worse. And then he was in Georgia.
Yeah.
He
Yes.
he experienced something in Georgia that I was like, oh, that's pretty bad. He was like kicked out of a club, and they didn't really give him a good reason. And it was like a white sheriff, and it was like like white bouncers, and he thinks that definitely had to do with race. There's always that sneaky
Mm-hmm.
suspicion that you can't prove, but it's like, come on, I think we know what
Right.
happened. It's kind of
Very smooth.
the same situation with Ethan Lyman. It's like I can't really prove. We can't really prove a lot of these things, but I think we can infer. Like okay, this seems like this is what happened. Well, my
You do sense some type of bias towards him in
right.
some regard, in some aspect.
Like my wife, I asked her the same question. Her most racist incident was out here in Orlando, where she was at a red light and playing some music with her windows down a little loud, and a white guy in a pickup truck says, "Why do you N words like to play your music all loud all the time?" And then they went about their lives. So yeah, it's that's racist, but it's like This ain't like she got lynched or she was dragged. You know, it was nothing like that. Or she got, you know, and then not to say that there weren't instances where she wasn't. You know, there could have been instances that she wasn't aware that she was racially discriminated. Maybe she didn't get a job, but we know that that happened. So we can't speak too much on that level. If you don't mind
Right.
asking you just real quick, what was the most racist incident that you think you ever been through dealing with like anything racial, white on, you know, from white people or anything, or Hispanics or anybody? If you can.
I'm gonna give you three. I'll
Okay.
give you three incidents.
Yeah.
I was in Illinois, and I think it was around the time of the Obama years. Now,
Very recent.
the ironic thing about the Obama years, when you're an African American, especially,
Mm-hmm.
this is where you face a lot of job discrimination, a lot during this period of time. And it's not for reasons that you may think you're experiencing job discrimination, like because the person's just black. It's not that simple.
Okay.
You will discriminate, you will get job discrimination in the Illinois, and particularly a state like that. You'll get it because it's a woman.
Okay.
There was a time there was a black woman, right?
Oh
I
wow.
was getting interviewed for a job,
Oh,
and I
wow.
was sitting next to a black woman. She's my competition.
Right.
And I knew when I was at the office, I knew when I was at the office being interviewed for that job, I knew that they were going to hire her immediately.
So that might be sexism.
It is sexism. I was just as qualified.
Oh wow.
Okay, I went to college and everything. I was just as qualified. Now, another experience was, and it's obvious. This is just a blatantly obvious one.
Mm-hmm.
There were Mexicans. There were a bunch of Mexicans inside the job thing, and I applied for the job,
Right.
but it was a bunch of day laborers and stuff like that. And if I did get hired, I would have had the opportunity to work with them. Well, I knew I wasn't going to get that job because they want fast labor, cheap. Back in '08,
Right.
okay. Then then I go further back in the past with that. My first girlfriend, I experienced some racial. I think it was racial,
Mm.
because my girlfriend at the time, my original girlfriend in high school, she was white.
Okay.
Okay, and her mother kind of wanted us to separate.
Oh wow.
Now it could have been racial,
Mm-hmm.
but it's so much going on. I mean, it's just so much going on between all that stuff going on.
Yeah.
It's hard to really narrow it down because when you got girls with psychological problems,
Mm-hmm.
it gets deep. So, but that's Illinois. See that particular state, you can cut the racial tension with a knife because think about this, right? We're talking about among white people, not just black and white, okay? Even among white people, you don't see the Irish and the Italians hanging out. Okay.
As opposed to New York City.
I don't know anything about New York,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm talking about in Illinois. You
Yeah.
don't see the Irish and Italians being around each other. Like there's Irish in the neighborhoods,
Oh.
there's Italian in the neighborhoods,
Yeah.
there's Mexican in the neighborhoods, there's black in the neighborhoods. Like they're segregated, totally segregated. I mean, to the extreme.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying that that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm
Right.
just telling it like it is. I mean,
Could be either.
Indiana is a much more inclusive environment.
For real? So, you know, that's like the home of KKK.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Indiana's much more inclusive.
And
Illinois is
is definitely special state in this country, right? You got that's where Michael Jackson's from, Larry Bird, David Letterman. You got some greats over there.
Indiana is the only place where rational common sense is still around in this country,
Okay.
and that's because of the right kind of Republican viewpoints. But I'm a moderate.
Yeah, me too. I think
I'm not
Florida.
a Republican. I'm not a hardcore right person. Go ahead. I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah, I was just saying. I think Florida's kind of like that too. Like I was saying, because of the right leaning politics, I think it just balances everything out. You don't want shit to get too far left, like Chicago and New York City and LA. I think it's getting
No,
too much of that, and it's like I appreciate everybody's point of views, and I kind of I like that it's diverse. It would be a boring and if everybody thought the same and spoke the same, that's yeah. But my bad, I cut you off.
no, 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 no. You did perfect.
Yeah.
You did perfect.
So this white woman you were dating, this was before the GMS days. I'm guessing.
Far before GMS.
Right.
Um,
I know them GMS men. They love some white women.
they love white women for real.
that's
Yeah.
fu- that's real funny that
They-
they do that. That's
Man, let me tell you something, man. Let me explain, man. I believe the black community went further off the hills, off the rails
right.
until when they started to accept on a mass number the Hebrew doctrines.
Do you think that's why you accepted it originally? Maybe you were because you came up.
This was before that. That's was really before this big explosion of what you see now.
I think
Like I was,
it was like on the cusp at that time. Like when I came in '04 in the ICGJC, and I was 20
mhm.
old, and I think that we were. You, I think you came in maybe around the same time in GMS, maybe later.
I came around 2010.
Yeah, you're right before the well, right after Obama got elected in '08.
Yeah,
Things started going left. No pun intended there.
the economy was really fucked up then. It's bad now, but it was. I don't mean to curse on your show. I apologize,
Oh, we
but
cursed,
the economy was really messed up back then.
wasn't it? Yeah, it was right. The recession was going on. The housing crisis.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm jobless. I'm over here jobless and
Mm-hmm.
struggling and shit. And then you listen to these guys
Mm-hmm.
on the internet, and it just hit it a chord with you.
Yeah.
It lighted a fuse in you. You found something to live for in some way, but in some ways you didn't.
Yeah.
Um, I was a different person back then in those days. Very crazy, uh, warped thoughts and all kind of things. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the Israelite thing was really the worst thing to ever happen to black folk.
Well,
Just, I mean, this
maybe
is my first.
in the last 30, 20 years, maybe or 40 years.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, because we could think of a lot of bad things that happen to black people, but I think I know what you're saying because it gives people like us because it's not just black people that fall into this, but mostly black people for sure fall into this thing. But yeah, it definitely gives black people this idea.
Well, Hispanics have daddies. More Hispanics have fathers.
That's true.
You need a father to tell you,
Mm.
boy, if I see you say that shit again, I'll beat you. You won't live here again.
Yeah, it gives like black men this privilege, or black people this privileged way of thinking, and then also this vilifying of every other race, especially white
Yeah.
people, when in many cases we are our own worst enemies.
Yeah.
They don't talk
Well,
about that
see,
at
well,
all.
see, my thing is, you like you're letting them get in that vilified mode against other people, but they don't have the resources or the materials to really exercise that anger.
Right.
They can't. They don't have the money or the possibility or the resources. Like the advice that they're giving them is negative, is bad information. I mean, it's they can't use that.
Hmm.
And what's going to happen is these people are going to get older and they're going to become atheists.
Do you consider yourself an atheist?
Damn near.
Right.
I'm close to becoming an atheist now.
Are you
I
convinced?
can't I can't really believe in the Bible anymore because I've given it so much of my life.
But do you believe that there might be a creator that has nothing to do with Christianity and none of that? Maybe.
I could care less.
I could see it. Like I could kind of see how a person like, I guess like Vocab Malone or any Bible believer, or let's even go outside of Christianity.
See, that's what vocab doesn't understand. Vocab doesn't understand. These people, these black Hebrews, they were already Christians already.
Right.
First. They were Christians first, and then they became black Hebrews.
Like me.
Now,
Yeah.
they're going to realize when this black Hebrew shit runs out of gas, and it will,
Hmm.
because it's a waste. When you're telling these people that Mexicans are their brothers, that's just bad information. You fucking them up.
But Africans are not. That's crazy to
But
me.
Africans are not your brothers. But you come from West Africa. I
That's
mean, your ancestors. I mean, when you track the DNA, it's all There's. I mean, okay, yes, it's some differences. Yes, but come on. There's more similarities there.
for sure.
You
But
can have a lot of resources and connections with the goddamn Africa. I mean, it's possible, but when you tell these people that your brothers are Mexicans, that's bad information. That's horrible information.
yeah,
They're going to remember that, and they're going to leave this whole God thing alone. And that's what vocab doesn't get. They're going to become atheists.
yeah. It's like I was a Catholic, whatever, aka Christian before. I already believed in the Bible pretty much. And then
Mm-hmm.
Black Hebrew Israelites showed me things that I never heard. And I'm looking at
Yeah.
the Bible and I'm like, why aren't Christians talking like this? Why aren't Christians showing me Romans chapter 9, verse 13? Why do they not even know that? Why am
Right.
I debating or, yeah, debating pastors in the streets with a garment on
Mm-hmm.
and I'm stumping them. They have no response.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I was doing the same thing too. I was giving people hell. I
And
mean, Jehovah Witnesses people, all kind of
they,
people.
oh yeah, they knock on my come in. I invite
Right.
my wife would be like, "Don't invite these people in the house," and I'm like, "Come on, this is
Yeah.
easy. This is light work for me." They go running out the house.
Right.
But this kind of led up. This kind of leads up, just to bring it back around full circle to where we are now, where there's this victimhood mentality and vilification of victimhood mentality for white people and vilification of white people of black people. I'm sorry, victimhood mentality for black people and vilification of white people that
Mm-hmm.
now crept into the universities. I see it in Yale, Princeton, Stanford, Harvard. Universities are mostly ran by liberals. You got these white liberal professors with ponytails and shit trying to be all cool and trying to, you know, um, be in solidarity with black people, and they feel so sorry and then they don't want to seem like they're racist, so they'll try to do anything to avoid even looking even slightly, or not even just they don't even want to, for example, charge these three black men with murder. Like, I think that race definitely had something to do with that, because we're at a point now where it's like the pendulum is swinging back, and it's pushing further in another direction, where now we're getting too far left. It's gone too far, and we can't find a balance in
Well,
justice.
see, here's the thing about those guys,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna tell you, when you don't sentence people for things like that, um, and now maybe I don't. I want to be very careful, just to be on the safe side, because I believe what you say is 900% right. But I just want to be careful, just for the 0.1%. So now, if they did this crime, which it most likely they did,
Yeah,
not sentencing them doesn't help them out mentally.
yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Well,
Letting them go back on the street like that, it kind of messes them up mentally too.
it's gonna
I
make
think if they went to prison,
mm,
they could have had a chance for redemption.
yeah, and reformation. Yeah,
Yeah,
but now they might get the
suicide. I mean, you don't know. I mean, we don't know.
they
It's
might
just darkness now.
they might just get the courage. They might get even more, fuel to maybe do something like this again,
Yeah,
and say, well, shit, I have the right to be violent, even if somebody is not a threat to my life. And I
mm-hmm.
don't think that those three men were in any way in danger at the moment when they decided to do what they did.
Right.
Yeah,
No, no. So that's not good for them either.
yeah.
They should go to jail so they can get a chance for redemption.
They did, I think, 180 days, 6 months in jail.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
Yeah, I'm hearing an echo. You hear that?
No, I don't hear anything.
Okay. But
Is everything all right?
yeah, I think it's coming from me.
Okay. No,
But
I don't hear anything from you at all. But they would have had a chance for redemption if they were in prison. I mean, sentenced to prison.
it just prison, I think, does set some people right. It straightens some people out, gives you time to think about it. And I
Yeah.
think what's going to happen now, that men are going to think they didn't do anything wrong, and I think that regardless of what um, Ethan and his friends did, even though every action does lead to a reaction, it wasn't a criminal act. It was a playful, stupid TikTok, game or
Tick,
something. I don't even know if they.
TikTok, right?
I want to see. I want to see. I want to hear more. I'm mad that there's not more information about this case.
That's very frustrating that there wasn't enough information and that there was a lot of contradicting stories.
Right. The
Um,
court reports said that he shot the guy when he came out of the car, but that's not what was originally reported. So I think that the uh wanted to maybe make this sentencing drop down to lesser charge, seem more
hey
rational
Sam,
by saying that.
Sam,
Yeah.
Sam. I think you kind of breaking up a bit.
Oh damn. Can you hear me?
Like, keep talking.
Yeah. So I think that the defense lawyer
Yeah.
wanted to pretty much rationalize the actions of the defense by saying that Ethan Lyman shot at them out of the car and then they assisted. But that didn't seem like the original story at all. The original story was they shot at them when they were on the basketball court. These kids didn't even get out of the car. Somebody shot at the three basketball players, three black men. They ran off. The three men ran off. Ethan Lyman drove away and
Mm-hmm.
car down and started in a car. Ethan Lyman got out. He got beat, but he got out maker, and that's why I think he got beat up. He came out of the car. If he never got out of the and just maybe called the police, it would have. None of that would happen. I don't know. It still doesn't justify. And I think that when I it's the thing that when I black people, if it was a black, like it always comes with these words. If he was black, yada yada yada, and it's usually they would have got charged with murder. Depending on the situation, basically they make people out like if the person was black, it would have been worse. But here's a situation where the people were black, they beat this kid to death, and they didn't get kind of a slap on the wrist system. So that doesn't fall in line with the narrative that black Israelites are shouting here in BLM that black people got it hard, white people got white privilege. That doesn't add up.
And it's like they'll say that black people have it hard. And I think that it's not that they have it hard. They just didn't have enough information to really do certain things.
Yeah, or access
to really access to certain things.
Yeah, that's true. That plays a part. I see how sometimes ignorance will hold you back in life, or lack of information. You
Right.
just don't know that you do this. You're able to have access to this, that.
Hey, Sam.
Yeah.
Sam,
Yeah.
you're kind of breaking up a bit. Like when you start talking on a sentence, it breaks up.
Damn. Again. I hear the echo. Hear me. I don't know what's going on. But yeah.
See what you can.
Yeah. I don't know why that's. See, I'm sorry. I hear myself. You're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. Wow. But yeah, overall, I think this Ethan Lyman. I mean, you see why I'm doing things like this, though. It's like I have a reason for it, and I want to call it out. I want to expose what is happening in reality, as opposed to what you hear as a narrative from the typical BLMer or Hebrew Israelite type. That
Well, I think one of the worst ones. I think one of the most scariest Hebrew Israelites ever made. I think one of the real scary ones was Kari.
Oh, Sakari's popular.
Sakari scares the shit out of me. I didn't he say something about he wanted to kill his mother or something like that because she's white or something like that.
Well, it was more that if God said to kill my mother, I would do it.
Okay, he's quoting the Levite scripture. Levites, because that's what the Levites did. God told them to do it, something like that in the Bible. Yeah, he's because he considers himself a Levite.
Yeah.
Okay, it makes sense then.
Yeah, because polite asked him like, since your mother is white, what if God said kill your mother? Something like that would do it. So polite was the one in a live debate that they did once during the whole community versus Black Hebrew Israelite Day. You remember that time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They would get into the debates, the pro blacks and the Black Hebrew Israelites. Yeah.
Yeah, they were definitely going back and forth for years,
Yeah.
and it turned into it turned. I mean, it's here now. I guess it seems I don't hear about it like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I like what they did. I like what the conscious community did. For the most part, they definitely missed out on opportunities to expose them, and now they look like they're cool with each other. I don't know what's going on. It seems like they like.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the comments that we were going forth on were mainly talking about the video I just posted, and then as we had like eight, I said, let me just go live to bring you
Mm-hmm.
on. Glad you came on. I think I'm gonna close it out right now, unless
No
you guys
problem.
to say.
No problem.
Yeah, but I appreciate you for coming on. I don't know if you want to say any last word on the live.
Sam, I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to speak to you. Thank you.
Well, yeah,
I hope I didn't cause you any grief or anything on the
no,
comment board.
oh no, I like to go forth. I always respond to always.
But when it comes to religion, I don't think I can do the whole. I don't think I can do the whole. I can't do it no more because you have to realize I started Christianity hardcore. Let me tell you about my background
Oh,
before we leave.
okay.
Let me tell you about my background growing up as a kid. See, I grew up in a traditional Christian background, from a Judeo-Christian background, Protestant
Yeah.
background. Okay, so it wasn't even Baptist or even an African American type thing. This was more of a right wing Christian background, extreme Christian background. It was so extreme that when the children would come inside the school, if you had a shirt with Batman or Superman or Mutant Ninja Turtles, they would tell you go into the bathroom, take the shirt, and turn the shirt inside out.
Wow.
Anything like that, or the Bulls, it would have been something like a Chicago Bulls shirt.
That's crazy.
You go, yeah, you got to go in the bathroom. Go in the bathroom, close the door. These kids are 5 years old
Hmm.
because all those were pagan symbols. That's how the Christians would have viewed it. So they weren't going to allow you to wear the shirt like that. You had to take that shirt and turn that shirt inside out. And that's at age 5, okay? And what I thought was horrible looking back at that childhood now, even looking at it now, what was so horrible was we're devoting school time into talking about Bible stories with pictures.
Did they have any images of Jesus Christ?
Angels, yeah, angels, Jesus Christ. You know, the regular angels in Jesus Christ. You know, the European ones. All this
Wow.
stuff. Okay, so what I thought was horrible was we're taking all this time where we could be learning about. I mean, looking at it as an adult now,
Yeah.
we're taking all this time we can learn about math, reading, arithmetic, all these things, and we're learning about and we're talking about Bible stories
Hmm.
in classroom.
Hmm.
If you lied in the class, if you lied, you got penalized heavily for lying. The teacher would get on you for lying because it was against the commandments in the Bible.
Hmm.
This is how it was. So now I'm growing up. Imagine that. Imagine the mental illness that you're growing up experiencing. You know what kind of mental illness that person has?
Right.
Just experiencing that. So now, then when you grow up some 15, about some 23 years, or not 20, 23 years, 15 years in the future, you grow up and there's a recession and stuff like that going on. And you
Yeah.
hear these guys on Great Millstone, okay? And you're hearing all this shit. It's like that's a trip. So I think that stuff ruined my life. To be honest with you, I don't think it really helped.
Hmm. It definitely doesn't help. I look at my life and I say, like, man, I mean, we here now, and I try to use it as a learning experience, but yeah, the shit didn't help. It didn't help.
A lot
It
of
just,
years just got wasted.
we had wasted years, money spent, time spent, when wasted years, of course. And why I can't add the Bible better. That, and I still came out with the mind state that I'm a victim. I have it hard. White people see, black people got it hard, and then now where I'm at today, time and a lot just individual research. I didn't go to
Mhm.
school for none of this stuff that I'm learning and that I've learned over the years. Helped me realize that there's an opportunity for everybody. Sometimes there are opportunities available for black that are not available for
Right,
it,
and sometimes those opportunities have to be there for a reason, to balance things out.
yeah, I agree.
You know,
And there needs to be there's a disproportionate amount of money that is um, being held by a very small percentage of people,
yeah, yeah. I
and
know
it's
who you talking about.
yeah, it's hard to balance that out because the more money you have, you're just gonna get more and more like an avalanche, and the rich get richer. That's
And see, what's making it worse is these wars, man. These
oh yeah,
wars that they start for no these dumbass wars, these stupid ass wars that they be starting, and it's destroying the moral fabric of this country. It is destroying the morality of the country.
yeah,
Like the reason why you have transgenders inside school buildings trying to teach kids is because the moral fabric of the country is being annihilated by these damn wars.
hmm. They're
When you
trying to
start these, I'm
yeah,
sorry, sir.
they're trying to teach them about sexuality in many cases. You know,
What does a kid need to learn about anything like that?
yeah, from someone that's
That's
not
that's
their parent.
yeah, that's a useless information.
That's the
Poor
parents,
child.
I think.
Yeah.
You know, like unless you're talking about biology, and then if we talk about biology, it kind of destroys this whole idea that a man can be a woman.
No, he can't be a woman. But I mean, that's more. See, I thought stuff like that is for adults.
Yeah.
That's for somebody who's at least 18, 17 years old, at least. That's not for somebody who's 9 years old or 5 years old.
Yeah.
Those are children.
We need to do another live and go into that topic.
You know, and the reason why that's happening though is because of these damn wars. It's all when you start these wars, you take a lot out of the country.
Hmm. And we in Ukraine, right? How do we get there? That don't make sense to me.
We don't have the finances for stuff like that.
We don't.
When they were talking about Ukraine and those people being our allies, I'm like, yo, man, Joe Biden is lost in the past. He's thinking about America back in the 80s.
Yeah, he's
That was
gone.
40 years ago.
Yeah, that guy is gone. That guy is on else, man. You know when that shoot in Nashville, Tennessee, by the trans man, he was doing a press conference and he started talking about ice cream. He's like, I came down because I heard it was ice cream. What? We doing a
You
press
see
conference
now.
about a school shooting in a Christian school by a trans man, and there seems to be no sensitivity about the topic. And if it would have been a shootout in a gay LGBT club or something, I wonder if he would have the same nonchalant, insensitive type of attitude. Where's the ice cream? What the hell?
Oh yeah, I mean the Christians get no respect. Like if it was Muslims and shit, they wouldn't be acting like that.
Oh, they love some Muslims, man. You can't say shit about Muslims. You know,
Muslims don't play.
Vocab Malone used to do these parodies, where he would dress up like a Muslim with some of his friends, and they'll do like something called the boom boom, talking about bombing, and he got flagged. They suspended his account for a while, and I was like, wow, just because you're doing a joke, which is in some sense it's reality to it, but you can't talk about that. But
But the
on
Christians get roasted. Christians get roasted. I mean, Christians get the shit roasted out of them.
you ever watch the Family Guy? They always shitting on Jesus Christ and
Yeah.
always. That's
Because they know those people will not kill them as fast.
Yes. Yes. I love that.
They know those Christians are not going to kill them like that.
Yo,
The
these
Muslims
cats.
don't play that shit. The Muslims don't play.
There was a Danish cartoonist.
Let me tell you something. The Hebrew Israelites are pretty bad, but the Muslims the Muslims will kill a lot faster than them. They don't play that shit.
Yeah.
They take that shit to heart.
When that Danish cartoonist drew up an image of the Prophet Muhammad kissing a man, they went up in that damn editor's lounge, whatever, in the cartoon office and shot that shit up immediately. Christian, Christian, was it Chris Hebo something? I forgot, but that happened like 10 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a situation. But there's an example right there. You
Mm-hmm.
can't dare you talk about common.
No.
Yeah, they go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. All right, man. You want to call it a night?
Yeah, Yeah, I'm done.
It's been great, man. Thank you for coming on.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
All right, Jay. I got your contact. We talk. You can hit.
Okay, cool.
Yes, sir. All right. Everybody, listen. Have a great night. All right. Thank you for coming. We out.
Thank you.
All right. Peace.